Okay, so I think we can proceed now to the next. Let me now introduce our next speaker, Dr. Supat Wangwongwatana. He's going to be providing us an overview presentation of the issues relating to open burning and also some of the available alternatives to address this issue. Dr. Supat, very nice to see you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Kay, for the introduction. Today, I'm very pleased to be speaking in this workshop and to share our experience in Thailand of the open burning issue in Thailand, and also some of the solution that we have taken with some success as well. Actually, I start with the video presentation to show the situation. This is actually the open burning of rice straw in a rice paddy field after the harvesting. It's actually this video I took actually not far from my house, because my house is located in the suburb area, not in Bangkok, but in Pathum Thani province, a little bit north of Bangkok. And there are still a lot of rice paddy field, and what you see is practice of the farmer to burn the rice straw left over on the field after harvesting. And we are trying to change this practice to some other by implementing some solution. So my presentation will be divided into two parts. The first part will be on the situation of open burning of biomass in Thailand, the cause and the effect. And then the second part will be some of the possible solutions that we are working on in Thailand, although we are still not able to eliminate all the open burning. But I think we are coming closer to that in the near future. The possible solution will include what we are trying to engage the farmer group and also the government agency involved, because there are so many government agencies involved in Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Agriculture, and so on. So we have to try to ask them to work together in order to stop the burning of the biomass in each sector. And then I will go on to the identification of costs, why people do the burning, and actually the poll before that Kay has given before, that's actually the exact cost of the burning. Why do they burn, and some of the solution and challenges as well that I'm going to present at the end. So with regard to the situation of open burning of biomass in Thailand, this is the map of Thailand. And what you see on the left side is the risk area of open burning based on the land use map of Thailand. The red area here is the high risk area. Because in this central part of Thailand, there are still a lot of rice paddy field. And as I mentioned earlier, the normal practice, and actually the farmer also get used with this to burn the rice straw and rice husk left on the field after the harvesting. And the central part has the most high risk area of burning. And then in the northern part of Thailand, there are a lot of forests still. And that's again, there will be also forest fire. And most of the forest fire, when we are talking with the Department of Forestry, they always say that all the forest fire caused by human. And why do they do that? And I will explain a little bit later. So in all the burning of open burning in Thailand, about 41% come from the agricultural area, and about almost 60% come from forest fire. And in the both in the conservation forest and also in the reserve forest. Conservation forest, what I mean is the something like a national park or something like that. There are still a lot of fire, and these are the hotspot detected. You know, the dark area here, this is the agriculture area, and the red area indicate on this map is the reserve forest, and the blue, dark blue area is the conservation forest in the western part, in the northern part of Thailand. And this is the actual hotspot from the satellite. This satellite picture taken from Burr Terra satellite. And you see a lot of red dot on the map on the left-hand side, not only in the northern part of Thailand. This is during April of 2019, because the month of April is the very dry period in the northern part of Thailand. So that's why we see a lot of forest fire and also land fire from the agricultural area as well. And we also see a lot of burning in our neighboring country as well. On the right hand side, this is the hotspot, which indicate some area on the ground which are high temperature, and we assume that those are the fire. And you see in that particular month, on April 11 of 2019, there are a total of 14,000 spots around the northern part of Thailand. And that has resulted in thick haze condition. And when we look at the burning in Thailand, the biomass open burning in Thailand, what being burned? As Dr. Mustach mentioned, the burning of solid waste, some of the solid waste are not being disposed properly, and it being dumped in an open dump area, and eventually they will be burned. The burning of open dump garbage, trash, brand residue in the community, burning of agricultural residue, rice, sugarcane, and corn and maize. These are the three major plant that or crop that been burned. Some of them being burned before and after the harvesting. In particular, sugarcane, they are burned before harvesting in order to make it easier for the farmer to go in and cut the cane. And after cutting, the leaf of the sugarcane will also be burned afterward. Forest fire is also, but actually, as mentioned, it's not a natural cause. It's actually fire set by people. And that is because we are still having slash and burn agriculture in the forest area. And a lot of people in the community also do animal hunting, and setting the fire will actually make the animal to come out, and then they can hunt animal easier. And some of the people in the community also collect mushroom and other kind of plant in the forest as well, and they believe that by burning some leaf on the ground, that will make the mushroom grow better, and they can find it easier as well. And the other cause of the fire is the land clearing fire, or the weeds near the highways and so on after the dry season. Even some of the government agency like the highway department, they actually outsource to the private company to get rid of the weed on the shoulder of the highway. But again, most of them sometimes also do clearing by using fire and actually causing thick haze all over the place and make it prone to the accident on the highway. These are the costs that Dr. Mustach also mentioned earlier. And this is the outcome, the results from the fire, the open burning. A picture from the ASEAN Specialized Meteorological Center in Singapore, looking at the hotspot and the haze produced by the fire, and it's actually show the spread of the haze all over the northern part of the Mekong sub-region of ASEAN, in Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia as well. And this slide actually show the aerosol optical depth, which show the depth of the aerosol in the atmosphere. The more thick or the thicker particulate matter in the atmosphere, it will actually obstruct the light. So we actually measure the optical depth of caused by the particle in the air, and you see that in the central part of Thailand here, where we have a lot of agricultural land, we also see during December and January very thick particulate in the air over the central part of Thailand. And this is the picture taken in the northern part, in particular in Chiang Mai. You might know it very well during the dry season because of the weather condition as well. It's cool and dry, so we have inversion. The mixing height is low, so you see the plume of the smoke after caused by burning cannot go up into the air through the inversion layer, so it start to accumulate. In particular, in the northern part of Thailand, still a lot of mountain, so it's a kind of valley type topography. So we have the accumulation of haze, actually particulate matter PM2.5 in the air above the valley. And this go along quite well with the measurement, the hotspot that we detect during the 5 months in the year, from January to May of many years, and you see the accumulated hotspot. It will go up quickly in around March. So that means there are a lot of fire during this period, March to April, in the northern part of Thailand. And that correspondingly well with the level of particulate matter of PM2.5. During the March of every year, we will see a high peak of PM2.5. And in March, the PM2.5 can go up to more than 300 microgram per cubic meter. And this is the daily average of PM2.5. So, but the situation nowadays is getting better. In the past, it's go up. At this point is around 350 microgram per cubic meter. That's back in 2019. Yeah, you see here the high peak of PM2.5 in many provinces in the northern part of Thailand. And when we go to the northeastern part of Thailand, where there are a lot of sugarcane grow, as mentioned earlier, the sugarcane farmer always burn the sugarcane before harvesting. That to get rid of all the leaf of the cane, because the leaf of the cane is quite sharp, and the worker do not really want to go in and cut the cane because it could cut your skin. They mostly will burn the leaf, get rid of the leaf by burning, so that it will be easier to cut. But burning also cause serious PM2.5 pollution. And you see here, the red histogram or red bar here is the number of hotspots detected in the northeastern part of Thailand. And the line with the green dot here is the level of PM2.5. It's go along quite well when we have higher number of hotspot or fire on the land. On the sugarcane field, we see also high level of PM2.5. This is the many years during December to April for 2016, 17, 18, and 19, the same pattern. And we are implementing a lot of measures in order to reduce the burning of the sugarcane in the northeastern part of Thailand with some success, actually a lot of success, because in the last 2 years, we don't see any PM2.5 problem in the northeastern part. And the burning of the sugarcane in the northeastern part is less in the last 2 years. The engagement, the possible solution to open burning of biomass in Thailand, we are doing a lot to engage with farmer group and also government agency, as mentioned earlier, that we need to talk to them to actually understand why the farmer burn and what's the challenge if we ask them not to burn. And the government agency as well, we need to talk to them so that they will press open burning issue to be an important issue in their work. And to identify cost and solution by talking to the farmer, talking to the government agency, we are able to identify the cost and then come up with solution. But we still have challenges as well, and we still have a long way to go. So this is some of the activity that we work with the farmer to talk and have some meeting in order to understand why do they burn, and what kind of condition, or if we are asking them not to burn, what is the difficulty of, or what their difficulty is, so that we can take that and come back and set up some measures and policies. And we also engage the government agency. These are what we go to see. We go to see the Department of Agricultural Promotion, because they will be involved in the agricultural sector. We go to the Ministry of Industry to talk to the sugarcane, the Office of Sugar and Cane, and also the discussion, many discussion with the local authority as well. What's the difficulty? This is what we discuss with the pollution control department. We also held the stakeholder workshop. In this workshop, we have both farmer groups, rice, corn, and also the sugarcane farmer coming and have discussion, share their experience. Actually, they come from different places, and then we learn from them. And we have the consultation, not only the farmer group, but also together with the government agencies to come and try to come up with what should be the solution for the farmer. The cost that we identify is actually the same as you answer in the poll. Cost saving is very easy. You don't have to pay anything, just one match. You will get rid of biomass on the field. There is no cost involved. But if you try to do something with the biomass left on the agricultural land, that you might have to pay something in order to do that. But in order to do that, we need to make all those biomass to become value added, so that the farmer, when they try to collect those biomass, they will come up later with some kind of income from that biomass. So cost saving is one of the major issues. So instead of having that, we probably will have to ask them, uh, uh, try to give benefit to them, time saving as well, less labor intensive, and traditional attitude. It's been practiced for a long time, from generation to generation. It's a belief. Some of the farmer believe that burning of the biomass on the ground will actually kill all the insect and the pesticides. But when we talk to the Ministry of Agriculture, they said, "Oh, it is not true. It is not true," because burning of residue on the ground in the field, that will actually destroy the quality of the soil. Uh, uh, so my second part will then be what we are trying to do. We know the cause, we know the problem, so how to solve the problem. These are some of the possible solutions to open burning of biomass that we start to implement in Thailand. The promotion of non-burning agricultural practice, the stubble ploughing in rice cultivation. We need the principle here is just to plow the soil deeper than normal, and then turn the soil upside down. So the soil will then cover the weeds and also some other biomass as well. And with the application of effective microorganism, this biomass will then be digested in a very fast period, probably between 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days, the biomass will then be digested anaerobically and become natural fertilizer for that field. And in order to dig the soil deep, this is a kind of moldboard plow that once it goes through, it will actually turn the soil on top of the rice straw, and the rice straw will be underneath. And with the application of the effective microorganism, it will digest very quick, within 7 to 10 days, as mentioned. In terms of sugarcane field, we are implementing a machine to cut the sugarcane instead of using labor. By cutting the sugarcane by using this machine, it will be fast, but it's also expensive. So this application is actually for a big farm, a big company who has a lot of sugarcane field, so that the investment can be made. But for the small farmer, it might not be feasible. So the Ministry of Agriculture actually develop a small machine to cut the leaf of the sugarcane. So the machine actually can go along with the tractor, the normal tractor, going into between the sugarcane, and then it will start spinning. The spinning will then cut the leaf, or the leaf of the sugarcane will be removed, so that the worker can go in and cut the cane easier and without hurting themselves by the sharp leaf of sugarcane. In terms of large machine like this, we are developing a machine sharing center where the big machine can be shared among the farmer, because it's so expensive that it's not feasible for individual farmer to own it. So we need to develop a kind of machine sharing center so that the investment can be made as a group, and then the farmer can share, can use that machine together, sharing the cost. And in order to promote this kind of harvesting cutting machine, the government also implement price incentive for non-burn sugarcane. If you go to sugar industry, you want to bring the cane to the sugar industry. The sugar industry will then buy the cane if it is not burned, at a higher price, the government will subsidize that in order to promote the non-burn sugar cane. So the farmer will get actually a higher price from the non-burn sugar cane with the subsidy from the government. And that's worked quite well. The number of the percentage of sugarcane burn reduced actually from 50% to less than 20% now. And then the target will be less than 5% during the next harvesting season, which will come very soon. So that's a kind of incentive and promotion of machine. And the use of biomass to make solid pellets, residue derived fuel, by putting it into a solid pellet, and then the size and the amount, the volume will be reduced, and the heating value will getting higher, and then it can be used as fuel in the power plant or in the industry to produce energy. And this is the biomass, the use of biomass residue as fuel. So the fuel, the rice husk power plant is promoted by waste to energy policy of the Ministry of Energy in the alternative energy development plan. It is planned between 2018 to 2037, about more than 5,000 megawatts is planned for the biomass as fuel. So this will promote the use of biomass from the agricultural land. This is an example of a power plant using rice husk as fuel. And the plan is to have this kind of power plant, the biomass power plant around the country, so that it will take the biomass from the agricultural fuel to reduce the burning of those residue. And the crop residue also been used for some other purpose. In fact, it's been used for producing organic fertilizer, organic compost. This is the can be done both anaerobic and aerobic compost. Use it as animal food, and also bedding of in the pig farm as well, for the growing of mushroom, and using as soil mulching material to keep the moisture in the soil by covering the soil with the biomass from the field. This is the anaerobic composting process, in which we have the biomass and then also aerate the biomass and turn the biomass once a while in order to expose the biomass with oxygen, so that it can be composted. And with the help of effective microorganisms, it will digest and become fertilizer quicker. or sometimes we don't need to actually for the biomass, the compost, with the continuous aeration, it could be a static pile of compost. It also can be made anaerobically of the compost as well. And this is some of the example in Thailand where the farmer put residue from the rice paddy field and cover with blanket, and then in an anaerobic condition with the help of the microorganism, it will become compost in a very fast. The crop residue can also be used to make some household product. This is one of the IKEA household product made from crop residue. And in fact, in Thailand, there is a big company making something like food container from rice straw. The rice straw actually can be digested and make it into pulp, and those pulp can be then used to produce biomass container. Mean the container, food container like bowl or dish made from the rice straw. Once it being made into pulp. And the biomass, the rice straw can also, or the sugarcane leaf can also be used to make a board, a wooden board, a particle board as well. And there are several companies in Thailand actually purchase the sugarcane leaf and also rice straw and chop it down into small pieces and make it into a press, make it a particle board, which can be used for furniture making as well. But in case there is still need to burn, sometimes it's not possible to get rid of all the burning right away. In case there is still a need to burn, it has to be control burn, prescribed control burn, so that the fire on the field can be controlled, not to make it spread too much and produce a lot of smoke. The Thai government, by the Pollution Control Department, is developing a program to control and manage the prescribed control burn for certain area. First, we need to determine the capacity of the air in the area, how much PM 2.5 the area can assimilate, depending upon the meteorological condition of each day, in which we can do forecasting of the meteorological forecast and use that, make the calculation how much area can be burned each day, so that the smoke produced from the burning will not cause the level of PM 2.5 in the air exceed the standard. That's a kind of management of prescribed control burn. And it's being used in the northern part of Thailand now. So the farmer who want to burn will have to come to the local authority and register that they want to burn how many hectares of rice paddy field. And then the local authority will do the calculation whether that registration can be allowed and how much area can we allow to be burned on that particular day. This is a system which also been used in the United States as well to manage the prescribed control burning, so that the smoke plume and particulate matter generated will not cause the violation of particulate matter in the air. There are some other activity that need to be done, not only solution.
Dr. Supat, if
Yeah,
just if you could wrap up in maybe 2 to 3 minutes, please. Thank
yeah.
you.
Just only a few more slides. We need to educate the farmer. We have to establish the network of the farmer because they talk to each other and they understand each other. Then we going in and then try to convince them. We have to establish the agricultural machinery sharing system because some of the machine is expensive. The campaigning of non-burning agriculture practice. And eventually, after doing all this, we eventually in the far future can prohibit open burning of agricultural residue by law. And these are some of the good practice that have been implemented in many areas in Thailand. All those that I have explained been implemented. This is the mushroom growing. This is compost in the north, and this cutting of sugarcane leaf and so on. It's been practiced, but we need to expand it to cover more area. So the challenges is to banning open burning or control and management of open burning. At present, it might be difficult to start with banning, but control and management of open burning might be feasible. Challenges on the machines are expensive, taking long time for farmer to change attitude. But I mean, if they get the benefit from their crop residue, then they will not burn. The financing system, and one of the difficulty is to collect the bulk biomass from the field and transport. That's the thing that the farmer do not want to do. The pollution problem from biomass power generation. So what we need to solve is this is the benefits: air quality benefit, climate benefit, health benefit. If we can control the open burning, on the climate benefit, we can get the net zero carbon dioxide emission if the biomass from the agriculture activity been reused in what is called circular economy, then we will have no carbon dioxide release, and the benefit will then be reduce the use of fossil fuel in the energy production. And in order to solve the problem of bulk crop residue, and the farmer just want to get rid of it and don't want to do anything. So we are developing a business system to create the value added, to add value into the crop residue. So the farmer will not have to do anything, but in here, the middleman will do the business of collecting of biomass from the field, from the farmer, and pay to the farmer as well for the biomass. So biomass, the farmer will get the benefit of those biomass, and then they will not burn. The middleman here will pre-process the crop residue to make it smaller, to make it to become compact, and then logistic transport to the end user. The end user could be food container, paper box industry, power generation, paper industry, animal food, and furniture industry. And one of the large company enterprise in Thailand is interested in doing the investment to set up this middleman here. And if we are able to do that, then we can connect and collect crop residue from the farmer and deliver it to the end user of the biomass. And this not only the rice straw, sugarcane leaf, and also corn. So thank you for your
Thank you very much, Dr. Supat, for the very comprehensive presentation, and I think also a very good overview in terms of the issues that we have in terms of open burning, and also an introduction and solutions that are available to be able to address this. I did want to just maybe open the floor for maybe a couple of questions if there are. Maybe we can start off from our colleagues that are joining us here on site, if there are any questions for Dr. Supat. And also for the colleagues that are joining us online, you can type in your questions and we can ask them as well. Any questions?
Thank you very much. I thought it was really interesting. I was just wondering, Dr. Supat, if you could talk a little bit more about the response that you got when you talked to organizations, government agencies like the Ministry of Agriculture. Are they generally supportive of the, need to reduce open burning, and what kind of role can they play in actually implementing it on the ground? Thank you.
I have to say that at the beginning, when we talk to them, the response is not so good, because their major objective is to promote only how to produce the crops, but not to take care of the residue from the crop. But when we talk to them again and again and indicate, showing to them this is a serious problem, and it's also their responsibility, because they have a network of agricultural, provincial or local agricultural office, which they can do promotion, they can do education to the farmer, a lot of things that they can do. And lately we get good response. There are at least 3 departments under the Ministry of Agriculture in Thailand. The Agricultural Promotion Department. Actually, they are at the moment develop the machine to cut the sugarcane leaf, and it's been used at the moment in the small sugarcane field. We also have the land development department as well, and the other department is the agriculture technology. But that's again the major task is to develop some machines to use for the farmer in growing the plant. But in this case, when we talk to them, they start to think about developing machine to take care of the crop residue. So the response lately is quite good, better than before.
Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Supat. Any other question from the, okay, Karma, can we have one more mic? Okay.
Hi, Dr. Supat. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Karma.
So my question is with regard to this machinery that you had mentioned. I think that one of the challenges, particularly with processing the waste, because burning, as you mentioned, is a very easy way out. But to process it, and you give some examples of the solution. One was, I think, tilling the ground so that the residue goes underneath and then it turns into compost. So that was one. And then another one was to get that machine to, I think, process the sugarcane waste. But because it's basically farmers that are growing the crops and they are not able to, they don't have the financial resources to buy these machines. So I'm wondering whether there has been any case where there was some kind of financing incentive, like a subsidy that was either given to the farmers by the government, or do you see any scope for, providing, like, I don't know, financing incentives or subsidies so that the farmers can afford to buy this equipment in order to then, avoid burning the crops? So from the financial angle.
There are two alternatives. Actually, at the moment, there are a lot of private companies that the farmer can go and rent or ask them, actually hire them, come and do the harvesting and do all the collection and so on. So even at the ploughing as well, they can go to the private and rent the machine and for their own use, because the individual farmer will not be able to afford to buy a machine for themselves. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. So it has to be shared. And the government has what is called the agricultural bank, which the farmer can also take loan from the bank at low interest rate as well. And the cutting machine also being developed locally, and it become less expensive, but again it's still too expensive for an individual farmer. So the intervention from the government is needed in terms of financial assistance or financial support, in terms of subsidy or low interest loan, and set up a kind of machine sharing center. That is necessary because it cannot be owned by an individual farmer. Sharing of the machine.
Thanks. I think we.
Of the Ministry of Agriculture through the cooperative unit.
Thanks. Thank you, Dr. Supat. Maybe just one additional point on the incentives. We've actually had an opportunity to meet with some companies in Thailand, that agricultural production companies. And one of the issues they mentioned was they were also offering incentives for farmers to use non-burning techniques, for example, for sugarcane. But sometimes it's also I think the elderly farmers or the laborers that they engage for those types of purposes also need to be, I think, considered as part of the approach. So it's not just the financial incentive, also the other considerations in terms of what kind of offer we can provide them. Just one last question from the online participants for you, Dr. Supat. There was a question here on burning of leaves by farmers in households, which is more for getting rid of mosquitoes, I guess more in the household areas and in farm areas. What are your views on this, and maybe if there are good practices that you can highlight from Thailand?
That's actually not a major source because it's a very small one. It's just producing a small fire in the house. For example, to get rid of the mosquito, you don't need a very big fire, and that will not contribute very much on the particulate problem in the air.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Supat, and thanks everyone for your questions. Maybe later, Dr. Supat will stay online for more Q&A. And then one additional, maybe just point I also wanted to share is, I understand Thailand actually had, I think, 100% or target to stop burning of sugarcane specifically by 2022. So I'm actually interested to know whether that has been achieved, but maybe later do we have more time to discuss? I don't want to hold too much the next session.
That's okay. Less than 5%, I think.
Less than 5%. Okay, so at least moving slowly towards a target. They still have a few more months by end of 2022. Okay, so thanks very much, Dr. Supat,